Austin Wells has been breaking out onto the scenes and is looking like a future MLB All-Star, while guys like Jose Trevino and Ben Rice are going to have to look to pick up the pieces, as it is becoming evidently clear that Austin Wells is the New York Yankees' future long-term catcher, as he is looking like one of the best hitting catchers in the MLB, while also having a shockingly great start to his MLB career as a fielder also, and we're going to break all this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. Almost said Knicks. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because if you have not been following the Yankees too closely since June, you might be out of the loop and missing out on the fact that Austin Wells is proving that not only is he a phenomenal catcher today, but he is becoming one of the best catchers in baseball before our eyes. At just 25 years old, he just turned 25, and he already looks like he is going to be the Yankees catcher for the next 10 years and get a few All-Star appearances with that. Well, he looks like he might become the best hitting catcher in baseball very soon. So guys, let's jump right into it. Because if you guys have not really been paying attention, you could have missed this. But Austin Wells has been having one of the best seasons that we have seen from a Yankees catcher in a very, very long time. And that's considering the fact that just a few years ago, Jose Trevino was an all-star. Now, over his last 7 games, Austin Wells has had an average of 321 with an on-base percentage of 345 and a slugging of 500. That's obviously an 845 OPS plus, or OPS. Not OPS plus, but we will get into that because Austin Wells is killing it on the season with his OPS plus. The last 15 games, we've seen great production, and the last 30 games, we have seen phenomenal production. But it doesn't just end there. When you compare him to the man who's supposed to be the best catcher in the MLB, in Adley Rutschman, Wells looks like he's having arguably a better season. By most of the advanced metrics, Austin Wells is having a better season, specifically as a catcher when it comes to playing defense. Now, we know Adley is there for his bat more than for fielding, but Austin Wells was also thought of as the same thing, someone who might not be that great of a fielder coming out into the MLB, and he was a pleasant surprise. Since Wells first got here, his fielding has been above average, especially than what we expected, but just above average in general. I have loved what we have seen from Austin Wells so far. And it's evidently clear that this is not going away, because all that has happened since June is that Wells has gotten better and better on the New York Yankees. Since June, Austin Wells has a 291 average, which is 4th among catchers, a 382 on base percentage, 1st among catchers, and a 500 slugging percentage, which is 5th among catchers. The man has been phenomenal. The advanced metrics show it both on offense and on the defensive end. Austin Wells is showing up and proving that not only is he one of the best catchers in baseball, all the rumors or all the noise that he might not be able to hang defensively is just the exact opposite. He's already shown to be great. The Yankees picked Austin Wells with a first-round pick, and clearly it has worked out for the better. What a steal. I mean, picking a catcher in the first round is a bold move by a team because you never know how it's going to turn out. Austin Wells not only looks like it was the correct pick, it looks like he was somehow a steal despite being a first-round pick. And on top of that, it looks like Austin Wells is only going to get better as throughout this season he has steadily improved. When you look at Austin Wells' numbers on the season, you realize that they're great, and this is counting the fact that Austin Wells went through a pretty bad slump to start his season. Now, he has 9 home runs in the year with 36 RBIs. He's an on-base percentage at 347. He has 35 walks, so not bad at all. He's taking pitches. He has an OPS plus of 116, while the league average is 100, showing that despite the fact that he was in a slump, he's still above average on OPS plus, which is huge. Solid slugging percentage, good amount of hits, actually stole a base, which is awesome. He could do a lot when it comes to being a catcher. He could field, he could hit, he's not striking out too much. Austin Wells has been phenomenal. We know this. And then when you look at other catchers the Yankees have, like Jose Trevino, you see that despite the fact that Trevino's not exactly having a bad season, and this is mainly showing offense, Trevino's a defensive catcher. He just is, and that's fine. But when you look at that, and then you also consider the fact that Ben Rice is mainly a catcher, and since coming into the MLB has been great. Now, albeit he is in a slump right now, but I do think Ben will get out of it. He's still so new to the MLB. It's hard to think much of any of this right now, but we know how good Ben Rice has the potential to be. And as a guy who is really more of a catcher than a first baseman, especially when you consider Aaron Judge probably in 2 to 3 years is at least going to be a hybrid first baseman and outfielder before fully transitioning to first base. It makes you know that Ben Rice is not long for the first base position, which makes you think, are the Yankees going to use him half the time as a catcher? Both him and Wells are left-handed, which makes things a little different also because you're not going to do a lefty-righty thing as much. It's very interesting to see what is going to happen between the Yankees when it comes down to Austin Wells and Ben Rice. Because right now, when you look at the way Wells is playing, it's not even a question. You're going with Austin Wells. He is your guy for the future. He's also the guy who Aaron Boone needs to stick in the cleanup spot and not let leave. He is your cleanup. Have Stanton batting fifth. Yeah, the Yankees still, I'm bummed out because they had a great trade deadline. I don't want to act like they didn't. But at the same time, I would have loved to get a pretty solid leadoff hitter, someone who you could trust to get on base. I mean, they had some options that they could have used, and potentially, it seems like Jazz Chisholm is not going to be out for long, so that's huge. Potentially, it could be Jazz with the way he's playing. He could run, he could hit, especially off righties. He's got a good contact bat, so it could be Jazz. I wouldn't hate that. I also think it sets a good tone having Jazz be your first batter. Like, I get it's 2 lefties in a row, but who really cares? And also, it's just Jazz Chisholm. He would be a good just setter, like, for the tempo. Like, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to act like Jazz Chisholm, and then right after that is coming Juan Soto, who does the most annoying thing ever if you throw him a ball in the Soto shuffle, which I've grown to obviously love now that it's on the Yankees. And then topping it all off, you have the closest thing to Barry Bonds since you've had. Now, all of that really shows that, one, Barry Bonds didn't want to be on the Yankees, so this is really funny that Aaron Judge is just replicating it now. Or not exactly, but the closest thing since Barry Bonds is the greatest player of all time. But when you look at this team, they're showing that the offense is coming along. Yeah, the bottom of the order is rough. Gleyber's getting better, but Gleyber's just such a mystery. DJ LeMahieu had a solid game last night, but you look at him, you kind of worry that his best days are clearly behind him and that his playable days might also be. Oswaldo's a question mark, but that he's really just filling in for Jazz right now. But the Yankees' offense has improved so much. Verdugo's also a serviceable guy, just not as your leadoff, preferably. But at the same time, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I just don't think they should because there's no metric that says that Verdugo should be the leadoff hitter, but that's fine. It's whatever. I really am seeing this team and seeing the Yankees have done so much right through recent drafting. I mean, bringing in Austin Wells, also having Ben Rice is another guy, having a guy like Oswald Peraza who you could trade, having Anthony Volpe, having George Lombard, who obviously is great, not a draft guy, but bringing in Jason Dominguez, who when he sees the time will show up and show out. He also might just be the leadoff hitter, but it sounds like Cashman isn't going to bring him up this year. I did a whole video on that, disagreeing with it. Obviously, there is an argument to it making sense that Dominguez shouldn't come up. I just don't think it's a good argument because, well, I'd rather see Dominguez up here than Trent Grisham, if I'm being honest. I think most Yankees fans would feel that way. No disrespect towards Trent Grisham. Obviously a great fielder. Now, I'm really interested to seeing where this goes. Austin Wells has to stay as your 4-hole hitter. He's your guy. He's who you roll with. He's great at clearing the bases. Great bat. I'm such a big fan of Austin Wells, dude. It's awesome. Somehow he rocks the 1970s porn stash really well. Austin Wells has it all. I love this guy. I love the move by the Yankees to draft him, obviously. Great move. Austin Wells might be a top 5 catcher in 2 years, and frankly, there's an argument that he is right now. Guys, I want to hear from you, though. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.